So a lot of people ask me, what is your typical day like? Typically, if I'm working on a theater show, my days are Tuesday through Sunday, and we work about 6 to 8 hours of rehearsal on those days. That's for the rehearsal period. And once we go into performance mode, our schedule is, how I explain it is, it's the opposite of your typical 9 to 5. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 jobs, we work the opposite. We work Tuesday through Friday, 6 to 11, and on Saturdays and Sundays, pretty much all day. Oftentimes there's 2 shows on Saturday and there's 2 shows on Sunday. So we work from about 12:30 to 11 p.m. on those days. So that's kind of a quick and dirty rundown of what our typical day is like. Here's my opening night. Opening night is when the show is officially open to the public. It's usually a big press event. You have reviewers come, and prior to that we have preview performances, and it varies for each theater and each production, but those performances are the full production minus, a few technical elements, maybe some lighting and sound stuff, or maybe some costume elements that have yet to be envisioned or added to the show or taken away from the show, but it's still the entire performance. Preview basically just gives us a chance to have everything up and going in front of a live audience to see how everything is received and just to see how it feels in the space with other people watching and responding and reacting. So opening night is a pretty big deal for a lot of people in theater. It's just like, if you're talking movie talk, it's just like a premiere date, right? Lots of people from the artistic community come out and see the show at the same time, while there's reviewers interspersed throughout the audience, and family members, loved ones attend as well as they are able, and it's just really, really fun. And there's usually a little party afterwards to celebrate the opening. So today I actually got to sleep in because during preview performances we also have rehearsals during the day and the show at night. So this is my first day that I have not had rehearsal, and I've had an audition that I went to. I got my nails done. I got my eyebrows cleaned up because it was looking a hot mess. And now I'm about to do some writing and just doing a little bit of meditation, because in a couple of hours I'll be heading down to the theater to get ready for my opening night performance. So I'm going to take you along with me so you can see exactly what I do on an opening night, how I prepare once I get to the theater, what I typically do to help warm my body up, to warm my voice up, to warm everything up. And I hope you enjoy the ride. So for those of you who don't know, we are called to the theater 30 minutes prior to a performance. That's when we were required to get there. Most people try to get there a little bit earlier because 30 minutes, as you may be able to tell, is not that much time to get ready. So especially if you have a heavy show where you have lots of makeup, hair, and costuming to get done before the performance begins, you might want to get there a little earlier. But if not, 30 minutes will do. So first thing I do once I get to the theater is I undress, put on my robe, and go at it with my makeup. This process usually takes me between 10 and 20 minutes depending on the intensity of the makeup. For this particular show, it's very normal makeup that I'm wearing. Obviously a little jazzy, but not too crazy. Once my makeup is pretty much complete, I usually start with some vocal warm-ups. My vocal warm-ups consist of tongue twisters, vocal trills, as you're seeing in the video right now, and a number of other things. If there are certain lines in the show that happen to trip me up oftentimes, I might go over those. I continue to do that while I am doing my makeup and finishing the last touches on my hair. If I'm sick, I will employ a steamer. I have a steamer that I keep with me at the theater that I don't put any medicine in. I just allow the water to boil, and I just put that around my nostrils and my mouth and just inhale the steam. So that's really helpful for me if I'm feeling sick, or if it's just simply dry in the theater. I'm having one of those dry days. That's very helpful. Once I'm done with my warm-ups, I will start going over my lines in total. just start from the top of the show going all the way down. I usually say them pretty relaxed, but also with intention. For this particular show, I have a number of monologues that I have in the show. One that's 2 pages long, and the other ones that are, just a chunk, a paragraph long a piece, but enough to where, I like to go over them before the show begins, at least one time through. After I go over the lines in my head, I will open up my script and look at the notes from the last performance that we had. And then sometimes I'll thumb through and go back through other notes that occurred previously, because all of them relate and all of them are valid. So I will go through my notes and look at those and see if some of them have been taken out of my work just without knowledge, and I just need a simple reminder, whatever the case may be. So going over my notes, even after they are days old, is something that I do periodically, just to make sure that I'm still employing those notes and making sure that I'm staying on top of my game. I also try to do some physical warm-ups, depending on where I'm coming from in the day. It can be a pretty extensive warm-up. Sometimes it's not as extensive. Sometimes I come right from the gym before the performance, so I don't necessarily need to do anything too intense except for stretching. I usually try to at least do something for my spine and try to do something for my legs, particularly my hamstrings. I just like to be warmed up fully in those areas, especially so that the work can be fully experienced and I don't have any tension when I'm on the stage in those areas, because that's where my tension at least occurs the most. And of course, after that, I put on my costume and I get ready to go. And once I'm done with that, I'm ready to go for my show. And that's how I get ready for opening night. That's how I get ready for every performance that I do.
I hope you enjoyed tagging along for this episode. I will see you next time.
Ciao!